This is the first time any of my clients have ever had to pay attrition. And I think this is really important to talk about, especially if you're hosting a conference in 2026. Let's chat about how we got there and then what we're trying to negotiate to not have to pay $7,000 for nothing. I don't know what attrition is. It's basically in a sleeping room block, the gap between the rooms that have been booked by a conference attendee versus how many that are in the contract. Some things that led up to this situation is we announced 45 days later than our target date. This is because the client went back and forth of where they were going to host this event, whether or not we were going to have the actual meeting at a different location and we just needed a sleeping room block. There were a lot of things that were undecided and that pushed the date back from announcing the event dates and registration. This is a corporate event that left a shorter window, more narrow window, especially with the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and a lot of people take off during that time period. So automatically we were in a very more elongated approval process for them to be able to come to the event. With the late open registration, really condensed the time frame between when people could get approval and when the sleeping room block expired. And then the second thing I think really attributed to this issue is we were hoping for increased attendance, but it's looking like with economic factors that we're going to have a decrease of attendance. That leaves us with a gap of 44 room nights, $7,000-ish, that we have to pay the hotel because those room blocks were blocked off for us and we are not using them. So if you find yourself in this situation, here are some ways that you can kind of circumnavigate and negotiate not having to pay that amount. The first way is this group is having a very similar event in May where we don't have a location yet. So I'm going to see if we can maybe say, hey, can those 44 room nights go to the May event and we just don't pay attrition now, but we'll come back in May and you'll make up that revenue then. Fingers crossed that's going to work. The second way is asking for that amount. We move to food and beverage minimum. Most of the time, I go over food and beverage minimum anyway, so moving that money, we're still paying for something. They're still getting revenue, but we're also getting something in return. And the third way we're doing is really staying on top of the sleeping room audits. Even if they booked outside of the block, we can, because of our contract, we can get those room nights counted towards our sleeping room block, and hopefully we'll get a reduction. But quite literally, this is why you should work with an event strategist, an event planner who has experience, because some people would just eat it. If you're $1 million coach and you want this to be completely removed from your desk, get it off your desk, out of your mess, hop over on Instagram, slide into my DMs. Let's chat about what event strategy and support looks like. Because 2026 is here, y'all, and you should be already planning fall conferences. So